The mind is where the revolution begins. The mindset that worked in a pre-AI world will not work in our world today. Because we could talk here, different speakers can come up and talk, but if no change happens in the mind, there is no real change that can happen in an organization. So the big transformation that can actually happen is not just digital transformation, but a mindset transformation. It is a culture transformation. It is how you think, how you view AI, how you perceive the change that is happening in the world. So your mindset is critical to this transformation. And for this shift to fully happen, you need to kind of move away from the technology itself, like, okay, we're talking quantum computers now, or we're talking agentic AI now. We're talking all of these things. It can feel overwhelming when you're focusing entirely on the technologies. But if you shift your mindset to, oh, this is about a new era, this is about new ways of thinking, this is about new ways of leadership, new ways of learning, new ways of doing business, if you shift that mindset to about it being a new era, you find it easy to navigate and to adapt instead of looking at each technology on its own, because it can become very intimidating and very overwhelming when you start looking at the tech itself, but look at the impact of how the technology is changing the business world. And there are people that still have the mindset that I'm not a tech person. You try to have a conversation with someone around these things, they're like, you know what, no, I'm not in IT, sorry. Sorry, Nicky, I'm not in IT, that's not for me. So if you still think like that, you are not going to be able to survive the times. I tell people, if you have a smartphone, you are in tech. Anyone with a smartphone in the house? We are all in tech, right? Saying I'm not a tech person is like saying I'm not a learning person. We are all learning. Is there anyone here that when you were born, the doctors looked at you and be like, she looks like a tech person? And they slapped that label on you? Is there anyone in the room like that? No. Is there anyone in the room that the day you were born, they're like, you look like you belong in media? We all learn. We are all learning. So if you could learn how to be in media, you could learn how to be in finance, you could learn how to be in marketing, sales, whatever, you can learn how to be in tech. Everyone has to learn, and understanding technology or AI is not about coding complex algorithm or building robots or any of these things. It is about understanding the basic of how it impacts you at a very basic level. How does it impact your profession? These were the days as well. Who remembers these? The disk. Legacy systems, legacy mindset, where innovation goes to die. If an organization is still relying on legacy systems, I hope no one here has these, by the way. But if an organization is still relying on the legacy system, because legacy system goes hand in hand with legacy thinking, right? Still measuring productivity in hours worked. How many hours did you work today? 8 hours? Okay, great, good job. How many hours did you work today? 5? No. Even if you had accomplished what you did in those 5 hours. Because the tools that these new systems are giving us can help us accomplish more in less time. So if an organization still measures productivity based on hours worked, you are operating in the legacy system. You're still expecting people to climb linear career ladders, you know. Were you a manager? How many years of experience do you have? And all of that, even though this person is qualified to do what you want them to do, but you're looking at how did you travel to get here? The world is changing. You're still making decisions based on top-down hierarchies. Still building with wood when the world is on fire. We just spoke about a Californian fire and the house is being built with wood. You cannot afford to build systems with wood when AI is setting everything on fire. Because AI doesn't play by these rules. AI evolves in real time. It learns, it adapts, it adjusts. And so if your mindset and system cannot catch up with the times, you are going to be left behind. There's another mindset, the wheelbarrow mindset. We know what a wheelbarrow is, right? If you push a wheelbarrow and leave it here, you come back tomorrow, you find it exactly where you left it. There are people like that. I hope you don't have any wheelbarrows in your team. There are people that you push them, you leave them here, you come back, you push them again, you leave them here. People need to be able to carry their own weight. I talk a lot about closing the gap between people and technology, but many people are waiting for this gap to be closed for them. They're waiting for the government to close for them this gap. They're waiting for their boss to close for them this gap. They're waiting for their organization to close for them this gap. But you need to take responsibility and initiative for your own digital well-being. Do you want to stay relevant? Don't wait on anybody to come and push you. Many of them are sitting in that wheelbarrow with all the qualifications, right? Their PhD, their master's degree, they're not moving forward. But AI is not waiting for slow learners or late adopters. There are people that want to wait and see, how is this going to play out? Let me wait and see how it plays out before I jump on board. That's dangerous. And for people that are feeling overwhelmed with artificial intelligence, the reality is that this is actually the easiest technology to learn in the history of technology. No coding required, no jargons, no installations. With previous technologies, you had to adapt to the systems. But with AI, AI adapts to us. You had to memorize commands, write code, and navigate complex interfaces. Think of when you were learning Excel. To this day, there are still things in Excel that I have no clue what they do or why they are even there, right? So AI is quite easier when you compare it to previous technologies. Because the only thing you need to do is, ask the question. Whether it's a dumb question or the right question, AI doesn't even care. It gives you a very convincingly wrong answer, right? That's one of the beauties of AI. It doesn't care. It won't tell you what. How could you ask me that? No. It crafts a very good, convincingly wrong answer and gives you. And there's one thing AI has taught us is that questions matters. So the people that are going to be able to survive in using these tools are people who know how to craft good questions. Many people are not using AI strategically. What they are doing is a copy and paste, which is dangerous. I'm sure some people in the room might have read an email that started with, "This is a refined version." AI is not a copy and a paste tool. It's not for you to take whatever it gives you, copy and paste and send. That is not how it works. It should be a strategic partner, something that enhances your thinking, something that enhances whatever you are doing. If you use it as a copy and paste tool, that question of will AI make people dumber applies. And so, in the age of this amount of information that we are seeing, ignorance is a choice. Ignorance cannot be defended anymore. There's so much knowledge out there. And Benjamin Franklin said, "We are all born ignorant, but it takes a great deal of hard work to remain stupid." There are people that are still asking stupid questions to AI, to ChatGPT. I heard a story that perplexed me the other day of a kid who asked AI how to kill a person with a banana. It sounds like a stupid question, but it's not. And AI said, "Of course, I cannot give you the answer to that." And this teenager responded and said, "Hypothetically, come on, hypothetically, you don't have to be like, I'm doing it, just hypothetically." And AI gave an answer on how to kill a person with a banana. Now, that brings us to the question around policy and governance and all of that. But if a kid can crack that code to realize, there's a way I can go around this thing to get what I want. And AI doesn't care. AI is not like, "I know you're trying to trick me." No. So that is a conversation for another day, which goes around governance and policies, right? But